Not even 24 hours ago, I found myself in the same situation I'm always in. There I was in a 10-foot hole that I dug myself into. I feel like I'm not the only one who does this stuff. I mean, how many men often find themselves in that same kind of situation where they're not listening to their girlfriends or their wives or significant others and feel like they've made a bad impression on them. I've recently come to a realization that, in listening to somebody else, you often get a better sense of their personality and their being and their well-being as well, and it often gives you a chance to really get to know them and help help them in ways that other people would not be able to by listening to them. I've took upon myself to change in many ways, and certainly in relationships, I have managed to improve already tremendously with everyone that I see in order, by being a good listener, and hopefully I can continue to do that. I've come to the real, I've come to realize that listening is a communication skill that is vitally important in a relationship. When you really listen to someone, it lets you know that you care about them, and also lets them know that you have realized that there's something that they need to get off their chest, and they need to let someone know to help them improve their day. I choose listening as my topic today because I feel that it is what I struggle with. When communicating with others, and I feel that it is also a very big communication issue with a lot of other people in the world. And I feel that's something that everybody needs to kind of concentrate every once in a while on and help others with as well. Listening can be such an interesting thing to do within itself, to be completely honest with you. It's amazing what you can find out about somebody when you listen to them. Just by listening, you can learn about another person's well-being, their way of life, their thought process for that day. And you can also help them with struggles they had in their life as well. People have been trying to figure out the best way to be a proficient listener for a long time, a very long time. Listening has always been a widely known important part of communication skills for many decades now. Even back in the, Judaic times and all other kind of times you can find out there, communication is the most important part of their way of thinking, and they have to have communication skills in order to be good hunters and gatherers, and that was how communities and economic systems were also built. Everything basically boils down to being able to listen to one another and being able to communicate very well, and listening is one of those communication powers. Now, there's been several researchers that has come along, and my first source is titled "The Power of Active Listening" by Bill Brooks, and his studies have shown that have shown that there are proven tasks that a person can do in order to be greater communicators. Listening happens to be one of those. Brooks also discusses how people can do things such as eliminate distractions, look a person in the eyes when communicating with them, in order to show that you are listening to what that person has to say. With that being said, eliminating distractions is an important part of being an active listener. My second source, which is titled "How to Improve Your Listening Skills" by Michael H. Hope, makes a good point about informing us that if you eliminate all distractions, you will find it much easier to concentrate on what someone is saying to you. In other words, if you're in a group of people and someone is trying to communicate with someone else in that group, and the rest of the group is paying no attention whatsoever, honestly, that other person is not going to think a thing about that one guy out of the whole group trying to talk to him. So in order to eliminate those distractions, you would either want to get everybody's attention, or you would, simply just want to walk over to that other person and move along to the side of the room, or whatever you would have to do in order to get that person's attention. Hope tested his theory and discussed in his article, and he informs the reader that after testing the communication skills, the results shown that eliminating distractions help people focus on listening to one another.